So uh, I feel we're quite protected and safe though. I'm going to give and share this now. I'm going to give a big thanks to the Indigenous of Australia, because the Indigenous that are alive and also the Indigenous that are on the other side are really uh, raising the vibration of the energy here. And it's not around the children. I didn't get anything around the children, but for Australia at the moment is, and I feel like a lot of us have known this, but it's gone to a deeper level now, is that pretty much China is trying to take over, or is in the movements of taking over Australia. And the reason they want to do that is they see Australia strategically as I want to say, military base. Because what happened with where Australia is located is because we've got water surrounding everywhere around us. It's easy to protect us. It's easy to see what's happening everywhere in air and in water. And China actually see Australia as not just a resource base, but a military base as well. It's a place where they can set up a lot of strategic actions and attacks on different places around the world. That's what I'm seeing mainly in Australia. If I go into, I'm going to now go into, that was just what was coming straight through. So I'm going to go into the underground tunnels and things like that. So it's interesting. I'm just going to share this with you now. So as soon as I went into that, I got taken to the base of Uluru. Unsure at the moment what that's connected to in regards to the tunnels, but then I also got shown a big water, like a big water tank. So I'm not sure what that is meaning, but I was taking the bottom of Uluru and then to a big water tank, which was like in the middle of nowhere. So I feel like this big water tank that's in the middle of nowhere is like it's like a flag, yeah, for where there is underground activity and underground bunkers for what's happening with these personnel and these people. The bottom of Uluru, I feel I got taken there is that it's supporting the light at the moment. Uluru is supporting the light. However, there has been some attempts to try and get in under Uluru and to set up stuff in under there at the moment, but it's not happening. There's nothing clearly like what I've shared with you there at the moment around the Australian stuff. There's nothing that's really coming through and out around that. The reason is, and what I feel is the major stuff's happening. Yeah, okay, we're in Australia and things are happening at the moment. But the major stuff's happening globally. We are let's say, a test, which is, what I see now. They've been trying to use us as a test to see how far they can push people with this scenario. But the interesting thing about what's happening in Australia at the moment, though, is we've got two things happening within Australia at the moment. We've got this whole scenario of what's happening with the pandemic and the children underground, the tunnels and stuff like that. That's happening, right? And then we've also got, in conjunction with that, is China coming in trying to take over. Now, China isn't showing any connection. They do have connections to it, but the purpose of being here isn't showing any connections to the tunnels, to the child trafficking, to the Freemasonry stuff that's happening. So China's actually here for a different reason. So at the moment in Australia, we've got China coming in trying to take us over for their military aspects and what's happening for them. Then we've got this underground play happening, which is Freemasonry, Illuminati, completely different. So Australia's really going through a polarization of two negative agendas happening on our country, on our land. Yeah. So I feel we're quite protected and safe though. I'm going to give and share this now. I'm going to give a big thanks to the Indigenous of Australia, because the Indigenous that are alive and also the Indigenous that are on the other side are really raising the vibration of the energy here. They're really giving to the land, giving to Mother Earth of Australia, which is really dispersing a lot of this junk that's happening. And why, we're still seeing the physical aspect of it. What we're seeing the physical aspect of it in terms of play out around the tunnels, and then what we're seeing in Victoria with the police being as they are and full on. which is China that's doing that. So when we're seeing the China and the Illuminati both battling for different reasons here on our land and our country, the ancestors that are on the other side, and even the indigenous that are on this planet, and some light workers as well, but mainly I'm seeing a lot of indigenous and a lot of ancestral indigenous are really, really taking up the battle for us and raising and lifting everything. Yeah. As I say that, so I've got a big American Indian that follows me around, Diego, and what he showed me was like this, like the god Zeus's big pitchfork going to the land of Australia, and just seeing the energy moving over it, spreading it, and maneuvering all the dark energies that are there. And why he was showing me that is that this is what the Indigenous Aboriginals are doing. They're doing this through burn-offs around the land and a lot of ritual dance. So we may not be seeing this, but this is happening in the Indigenous cultures. I'm seeing play-outs and roles of it right now. And then you've got the ancestral, the ancestors that are on the other side are also burning it on an energetic level. Yeah. So, and this makes sense now why I was taken under Uluru, because this is what it was showing me. It's like showing me that Uluru is the generator of these energies that are moving things out. So every time they're doing a burn off or a ritual dance, or the ancestors doing stuff, they're plugging into Uluru as an energy source. Everything is gritting back to Uluru to blast out what's happening on the land and supporting this land. And everything's going to be okay. There is going to be turmoil, and I've said this, from day one, and I've said this war was going to play out. I said the other night, 2023 will be when we're at peace and harmony. I'd said to the end of next year that this war that's happening was going to play out. And I've said, in groups previously that April, May, there's going to be an explosion in China, which is going to be starting moving towards, more towards that peaceful and that peace. And I feel that explosion in China is going to drop off what's happening with China's aspect with Australia, in terms of how they're muscling in here. And then I feel the underground stuff, the Freemasonry stuff, is getting taken care of anyway, because their headquarters are getting taken out by military and stuff on the other side of the world.